もう死んでいる。何？もうは匠できれば。
Alright, take 5. Good evening, you sexy sons of bitches. I am the Rockabilly Rambler. I will be rocking in your town. Today we're not making music content as you might have imagined. Today I want to show you the mods that I've done to my 1982 Cm250c. What is this? What is this? There's no starter. Badass. Alright, let's start at the front of the bike. Walmart fog light headlight. I got a low beam. I also got a high beam. I reach over the handlebars and tweak it. There's no rat's nest of wires. You guys know that those Honda bikes, those Jap bikes, they like to meet all of the wiring inside the headlight. I just cut them. I ripped out the harness savagely. There is no wires coming out of these controls. The controls are inert. We got some Moose Racing motocross handlebars. Pretty good handlebars. They survived the accident well. Speaking of which, the accidents. This is the thing. These scratches, all of this damage. I lost the mirror. You guys seen that? Alright, moving back. We got a nasty tank lift. There's a piece of angle iron and the original clip that the tank used to bolt onto. It's lifted by all of this much. Detabbed the tank, and I busted the seam weld when I took the grinder to it, so there's a little bit of fiberglass work there. We got a custom subframe. On top of this custom subframe, we've got a plywood seat pan with office chair padding and vinyl. Pretty comfortable, pretty thick, nice plush. Stock helmet lock, stock location. I just cut it off the old subframe and throw it on there. I got a mini AGM battery for lighting only. You guys know I got no starter. We got my signature piston tail light. Signature piston tail light. Moving down, head's been ported and polished. It's got new piston rings. I had spark plug thread failure and I had to pull the engine apart. Healy coiled them. While I had the engine apart, I broke a piston ring cleaning it, so it's got new piston rings, new head gasket, and I ported and polished the head while I was in there for shits and giggles. Moving down here, Yamaha FZR600. I wanted to jack the bike sky high. You can see here's the stock wheel with a pretty close to stock tire, and I got all kinds of clearance. All kinds of clearance. The reason I wanted the clearance was because I live in the mountains. We've got twisty roads, those beautiful twisty mountain roads everyone loves so much. And when you're carving those canyons and the twisty mountain roads, you start burying your foot pegs, and you could imagine that could lead to a pretty nasty accident. So we jacked the living piss out of the bike sky high with a 93 FZR600 suspension. To fit the link, to fit all of this fun stuff that makes the suspension a suspension, I had to get some clearance because before the tire and all of this fun stuff would have rubbed, so I had to extend the swing arm. Obviously with a stock suspension, the shocks were back here. There was very little stress on here. It was actually pretty good for a while until I started wheeling, and when I started wheeling, I bent the swing arm. So I pretty lazily just added some black gas pipe. I've built entire motorcycle frames out of this stuff before. I ran approximately 4 feet of weld, stick weld up and down the thing. The stock brake pull rod wasn't long enough because we extended the swing arm. So this is a e-brake cable from a Mercury Grand Marquis. The old lever was spring loaded and it would return it. Obviously, there's none of that now, so I added a little tab with a little spring, and the little spring actually fits in really well into the brake stay. Down here, we got some stock headers. They've been cut, they've been united. They've been clamped together, pinched together. They spin at the head, so that was pretty easy. Some pie cutting was done, and some manipulating of the steel was done, and it just flows really nicely into this. This is a brand name canister, but for the life of me, I can't remember what it was. I took it off of a customer's Yamaha 450 ATV, and my old FZR 600 came with the Yoshi exhaust, but it was mangled. The bike had been in a nasty crash, and the label is the only thing I could save. Even that is pretty damaged. Looks good, seems legit. Right here we got half-inch square tubing, a hose clamp, and the stock brake light switch, a nasty rusty spring, a hole drilled in this here new brake lever. This is all thread. This is a nut, so it doesn't wobble, but it moves side to side during its stroke. It's pretty coarse thread, so it's not much. Yeah, you can see what I did here. This is just a bicycle cable end, gas pipe, good stuff, fun stuff. What else have we done to it? I think that's it. The reason why I'm making a video about it now, it hasn't been ridden since the accident. When the accident happened, you guys saw that the bike bounced off the pavement pretty violently. Now there's no steering stop, and it actually bumps into the gas tank. We tweaked the living piss out of this foot control with my shift rear set, and it wasn't shifting right. I fixed it. It's good now. So that's where we're at.